My colleagues are demonstrating a point I've been trying to make about how you have a completely compliant, pliant, supine press accepting every leak out of the White House.
I am aware of that. I think that's a correct analysis. I think the White House has to understand that some of this is coming from its ranks.
From a cyber warfare strategy to stop Iran's nuclear program to secret details about how President Obama authorizes deadly drone attacks, what should be some of America's top secrets have in recent months become very public.
This, what has taken place, I have never seen anything like in the many years I have been here.
And they say it harms America's relationship with its allies. That's why these Republican senators are calling on the U.S. Justice Department to appoint an independent investigator to look into the leaks, which they say may be coming from the president's inner circle.
We've never seen the number of leaks that are now being reported in virtually every paper in the country.
Republicans say the disclosure of classified information is designed to make the president look tough on national security. The president told reporters that suggestion is ridiculous.
The notion that my White House would purposely release classified national security information is offensive.
Still, the administration's director of national intelligence, James Clapper, on Monday announced intelligence employees would be subjected to increased polygraph tests alongside an internal government investigation. But Ray McGovern, a former CIA officer, says he's concerned the measures will do more harm than good.
And the kinds of things that Clapper is injecting into this may stop damaging leaks, but will also suppress the willingness of people with a conscience to say, hey, this is not only wrong, this is a war crime.
Than the President of the United States.
Forgive me, sir, it's a yes or no question. Did the President declassify any of this information?
No, of course he did. Of course he did.
He did not?
No.
Okay. Let's go through some of the secrets that were disclosed in these articles. The CIA had a double agent inside al-Qaeda in Yemen who foiled a new bomb plot. The president personally approves a kill list of terror suspects for drone strikes, and the U.S. and Israel launched a cyber attack against Iran's nuclear program. Here are some of the people quoted in the articles, not saying that they gave up these secrets, but they're quoted in these articles. National Security Advisor Tom Donilon, former White House Chief of Staff Bill Daley, members of the president's national security team who were in meetings with him in the Situation Room. And the president has no idea who divulged these secrets?
Listen, the leaders in our administration, of course they're going to talk about the president's strategic approach to keeping this country safe, our foreign policy, but to suggest somehow that the people that he relies on for advice every day would leak information like this is just absolutely wrong. It's highly objectionable.
David Sanger said that, in fact, he did talk to top White House officials. He said it wasn't leaks, that he's been investigating it for months. He did not say that. He, in fact, said he did talk to people in the White House.
Well, for the book, sure. He's a prominent national security reporter, obviously, who's writing about these important issues facing the country. But there's going to be a very thorough investigation. The Attorney General has spoken to this. Two United States attorneys will look under every rock here. This ought to be investigated as thoroughly as anything can, and we ought to await the results of that investigation.
But I do want to ask you, because you didn't answer my direct question, did the president or any other top official declassify any of the information that appeared in these articles?
No.
Welcome back to Harville. Drip, drip, drip. What's with all this leaking during the first year of the Obama administration? What's doing it? Who's doing it? And what do they got to gain? Look at what Defense Secretary Robert Gates told reporters just yesterday regarding the decision-making process on Afghanistan. Quote, I have been appalled by the amount of leaking that has been going on in this process. Mr. Gates said, he added that he thought a lot of different places are leaking and that he was confident that the Department of Defense is not one of them. Then he made a threat. And frankly, if I found out with high confidence anybody who was leaking in this Department of Defense, who that would probably be a career ender. It's very clear during the Cuban Missile Crisis, Jack Kennedy only let a few people be in ExComm, that executive committee, because he didn't want anything out. He even said he had a cold, and he did everything he could to keep quiet what was going on. With this administration, we know where Mullen stands, we know where Gates stands, we know where Biden stands. We know where the current ambassador stands. We know where the field commander stands.
Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense.
We know Hillary Clinton's position. Why do we know everything?
Well, I think for one thing, this debate's gone on for a while. And for another, there's a sense the president hasn't made up his mind. So that means there is a certain strategy for all the players to get their positions
Okay,
out.
why?
I think this clip really captures it, which is this disarray that the vice president got out ahead of himself and forced the president to do something that they say he was going to do.
Yeah, and the stunning thing, David, is they want us to know about the friction.
Yeah.
All the staffers all leaking out how angry they are, people identified as top campaign aide, people in the vice president's office, people in the president's office, all this intrigue publicly being really being dished out to us.
Yeah.
Why do they want us to know that they're angry at the vice president?
Did the vice president apologize to the president?
And my question is, if they're angry at him for being impulsive, why are they being impulsive? Why are they acting out on their anger? Why don't they just be professional about it and say, well, we'll move on? I don't quite get why they want this spat to be public. That's the big question.
The pressure on President Obama over national security leaks is getting more intense after White House Press Secretary Jay Carney today ducked a key question.
Can you say flatly that nobody inside the White House was involved in the national security leaks that are being investigated?
Well, Ed, as you know, this is a matter under investigation by two experienced federal prosecutors, so I'm not going to speak specifically about it.
Not quite as firm as the president's adamant denial last month.
The notion that my White House would purposely release classified national security information is offensive. It's wrong.
A spokesman for presumptive Republican nominee Mitt Romney quickly charged the White House can't get its story straight, adding, the time for stonewalling is over. Carney fired back at the Romney camp after advisor Richard Williamson on Wednesday accused White House National Security Advisor Tom Donilon of leaking classified information to a New York Times reporter about cyber war being waged against Iran.
I think the Obama administration has figured out how to do it, have the National Security Advisor talk to Dave Sanger, then all intelligence is shared.
He made that accusation based on rumors he said he'd heard in the journalistic community. That same person called Russia the Soviet Union multiple occasions. He called Governor Romney Governor Reagan on several occasions.
The White House has also denied leaking sensitive information about the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. Though on Wednesday, the head of the U.S. Special Operations Command had a chilling warning.
And we need to do the best we can to clamp down on it, because sooner or later it is going to cost people their lives, or it's going to cost us our national security.
In an exclusive with Fox's Greta Van Susteren, Speaker John Boehner pressed for a special counsel instead of the current investigation overseen by Attorney General Eric Holder.
All I know is that it is going to put American lives in danger and has disclosed some of our methods of operation, which our adversaries don't need to know.
Another top Republican suggested the White House is not cooperating with the current probe.
They need to say, listen, I'm in this thing fully. You get to talk to anybody that you want. I will give you phone records. I will give you calendars.
I mean, if it were only an isolated incident, it would not have any political effect. But it plays into the theme of Obama putting himself and re-election above the country. Clearly, if these things were leaked to make him look tough on national defense, help him in his re-election, at the expense of what Feinstein herself has said, great damage to American national security, that fits with the Keystone Pipeline decision, the decision to withdraw the surge troops in Afghanistan in the middle of the fighting season now, rather than what the military had recommended after the fighting season, which would be after Election Day. All these other decisions, which make the president look as if he subordinates the interest of the nation to his own interests.